Tanisha, a homeowner could face charges after firing shots at a group of teenagers he caught breaking into his garage. A 17-year-old is dead. Another is wounded. A lot of legal issues involved in this one. So let's bring in Fox 2's Charlie Lankton. Charlie, does this man have a right to defend his property? After all, it was just a garage. And I get it. People were breaking in. But does he have the right to shoot and kill somebody?
Let me think about this for just... No, this is an easy one. This is not that hard. The law is very, very clear. You do not have a right to use deadly force to protect your property. Look at the facts. We have a detached garage. That already is kind of strike one against the homeowner. But then again, as I understand the facts, the homeowner went outside. The law says you can only use deadly force when you feel you're imminently in danger. That means, like right now, I'm in danger. I'm so dangerous. But he goes out to the scene of the crime. Strike two against the homeowner. And then, for whatever reason, he just shoots his gun at 7 people breaking in. That's not even close. 3 strikes. This homeowner is out.
Okay, so now, has he been charged with anything yet?
No, we're waiting for the prosecutor. We're not sure if the prosecutor actually has the official charging papers from the White Lake Police. We're waiting for those. If the prosecutor does, I talked to the prosecutor's office earlier today. They did not give me any indication as to when. There's no time limit on these charges. I would think the charges would likely be second-degree murder, and if you use a gun in the commission of that, you get an extra charge, which is a mandatory 2 years in prison. So there actually are a couple little things. But you can see right here, the video clearly shows a detached garage. I don't know what's in that garage, but I think I know there's no person in there. Change the facts a little bit. Let's say someone was living in the garage. Now that becomes a little more problematic. Then you may have the right to defend your loved one or your son or your daughter who's living in that house from people who are breaking in. The law says you can use deadly force to defend yourself, your person, your body against imminent physical harm or sexual abuse or in a vehicle. There are a couple of other little exceptions. But the bottom line, you gotta feel right now you're in danger, then you can use deadly force.
Okay, now, so what could this person do? I mean, obviously, this is his property. These guys are allegedly bad guys breaking in, stealing stuff out of his garage. He's angry. What if he fired a shot into the air? By the way, I just popped that right into the camera there. Fired a shot into the air. What if he did that? Or what if he pointed the gun and said, "Get out of my garage or I'm going to shoot you"?
Well, I wouldn't recommend that because that's a crime. You can't use your gun that way. All gun owners know this. You use your gun only to protect yourself. If I shoot it in the air, that's a crime. If I aim it, that's an assault. If I shoot it, that's another crime. So what can he do? He calls 911. He calls the Hall of Shame guy. I don't know, but he doesn't shoot them. I know that for sure. And maybe he sets up more cameras. Again, I sympathize with the homeowner, and a lot of people will. Why? Because this garage has been broken into 3 times. The neighbors don't like it. Doesn't help property values. I understand all that. But we in this country have an absolute right to have a gun. But we have to have certain conditions. And one of the conditions is basically we don't use it to scare off people. We don't use it to protect property. We use it to protect ourselves. And I'll tell you, it's interesting. We want to politicize this. People who are pro-Second Amendment, pro-right to own a gun, should be upset with this guy. I believe he'll be charged. I'd be shocked if he wasn't. I'll bet you whatever you want to bet. But if he is charged, the people that are pro-gun say this guy this guy violated basic gun law. You don't use your gun to protect property. You do use your gun to protect yourself or your loved ones from imminent harm. And even if you want to go crazy, if I go into your house, there's only a presumption that I can shoot and kill you. It's not automatic, although it's a much easier case. Again, why? Because if I'm an intruder in your house, you can kind of guess that it's not a good reason. But there are a lot of exceptions to that. So the bottom line, yes, you can have a gun, but there's a lot of responsibilities attached to having that gun.
Really good. Thank you very much, Charlie. That's always an interesting thing because, obviously the guy, he could have said he was scared, and he probably was a little bit scared, but you can't use your gun that way. and you think he's going to be charged.
I think second-degree murder.
And a young man lost his life. I mean, even just assuming his guilt that he was stealing things, you don't deserve to die because you're going to steal something out of somebody's garage.
Anybody, if they were trying this, now listen, the prosecutor should try the people for breaking in.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what? This person that broke into a garage and stole something or attempted to steal something, everyone would say, you can't do that. But would anybody in this world say that the penalty should be death? No one would prioritize. The law is logic, but you got to think a little bit. And that was not done here. What?
Are they all in custody?
2 are in custody, and they're still looking for, I believe, 4 or 5 more.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll get more information on that. I do know we're gonna have a story on this on 6. We'll get a little more of an update. But again, listen, and I don't mean to minimize this. You're right, Rob. Someone lost a 17-year-old.
Yeah, a kid
is dead.
Yeah,
17. But I'll tell you, no one deserves to die. Even someone who is allegedly breaking into it. But that's not. This shouldn't happen.
Yeah,
it shouldn't happen.
Absolutely. Thank you, Charlie. You are a lawyer and you're a smart guy and a great reporter. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right.